while we were recording, I just noticed that Bertrand Traore has taken out both DCL and Lucas Digne in one tackle. So looking forward to what happens.
Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Escapades. My name is Kshitij, and today, for a change, I'm finally joined by my band of brothers Akshay and Anand. Akshay, welcome back, dude. It's been 5 game weeks that you've not been with us. Congratulations are in order, I presume, and congratulations from both of us and the entire Escapades family. How have the last 5 game weeks been from an FPL perspective, dude? Because we know in life it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been awesome, great to be back. But I haven't followed FPL, to be really honest. Like not watching a lot of content and not following my team as well. So just doing last minute changes, and that has probably reflected in the triple game week that is currently going on. So decided to play my triple captainship on Bruno. And when the game week started, I just happened to look at all six of us from the Escapades family, and what a surprise! All six of us had the triple captain on Bruno. I mean, there's some telepathy going on, maybe. So let's hope that the United game goes on today amidst protests yet again, and Bruno gets a haul. So that is the only hope right now, because I made a stupid decision by getting Zaha in instead of backing our own boy Mason Greenwood. But yeah, that's where it went wrong, probably because the Chelsea boys, I couldn't have called it whether they would have just played one game out of the double, and Ollie Watkins getting a red card for a dive against United. I mean, it couldn't go even worse. So let's see what the final 3 game weeks have for me. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely being so humble as to not checking your teams and still somehow ending up on top of the mini leagues. That's uh, a great, that's something to be proud about, I must say. But yeah, definitely, I think a bad call or unlucky on your part to not have gone for Greenwood. But yeah, I think when you talk about Watkins, all of like a majority of FPL managers faced that bad decision of him diving and getting a red card and missing out on the Everton game, which is underway right now. So yeah, I think like points coming from Martinez, and you have 4 players from the United Liverpool game. That is definitely a question yet again. Hopefully, we get to catch you up. Uh, Good call on the triple captain by all the three of us. I did go this a similar route with my transfers of Moura to Salah and Kane to DCL, both giving me returns. Hopefully, a DCL scores one yet again. I did play McCarthy, but he did not, thankfully, start any either of the games. So Martinez automatically comes back in. And yeah, I think like 6 players from Liverpool and United couldn't be happier. I hope it is a high scoring game with United coming out on the winning end. That is all that I can hope. Dallas was on my bench, so that was a hard call. Kasane did play 2 games, but only ended up giving 2 points, so that was a bummer. But I look forward to the United Liverpool game in a couple of hours or so. Now, Anand, you were also one of us with the triple captainship on Fernandes. Did you also? Does it also hurt to miss out on the Greenwood train?
Oh, absolutely. Greenwood. The thing is, he got substituted just after the 60-minute, mark in the last match. So there's so many chances that he's going to play against Liverpool too, or even if he doesn't, he's just done the damage already on 18 points. And I went over with Rashford. And honestly speaking, what hurts most here is that I had Foster on my bench. I had Dallas on my bench, and I also missed out Rafinha's assist, although it was 4 points, but yeah, much better than Watkins that we all have. 4 points is much better than having a -1. But there are certain things that you just can't predict. And Watkins, I was surprised that Villa didn't appeal, or did they appeal for Watkins? Red
I think
card
it
to be
was it was a
reversed.
second yellow card, so I don't think those red cards are appealable.
All right, so it is. It was just. Yeah, like I said, it's just really unlucky that Watkins got that punishment. And but apart from that, I think like Shipiz, you even I had Castagna, and who could have predicted that they would get butchered by Newcastle in the first match. And so yeah, Castagna. Although Trent did give me some points, and Martinez, let's see what he does in this one. So overall, right now 79 with 6 players left to go, 3 United and 3 3 Liverpool. So let's see how it ends up. But I was really happy about one decision, and that was playing Bamford. And I think I was discussing this with Kshitij itself. I think regarding so I was in two minds whether to bring in Coleman for Alonso or to get in Sofal for Alonso. So the idea was to probably start Bamford this game week and bring in Sofal for next because he has decent bit of fixtures from game week 37 onwards. So overall, 79 is definitely not bad, but yes, it could have been so much better. So much better. And even if I didn't transfer, anybody and just would have started the likes of Alonso or Dallas, it would have been so much better. Or even say, for that matter, even Foster, it would have been so much better. But yeah, uh, can't just complain much and look forward to the next one, which is a blank and a big one coming up. So Akshay, what are your plans? How's your team looking right now?
I think I am in a decent shape right now. I have a couple of players. In fact, I have three players who are not playing right now. So it's Bruno, Mason Mount, and Rodiger, and and even Iheanacho for that matter. But I plan to hold on to Bruno because of the Fulham fixture, obviously. So my plan right now is just to make two transfers, take a hit because that's the name of the game right now, taking hits, and you have to do that if you want players to play for your team. So right now I'm planning to ship out Iheanacho and Mason Mount, and quite a lot of players in my mind. Not really set on who I'm planning to get, but when it comes to midfielders, Foden is someone who I'm looking for because of City's fixture against Newcastle. And Newcastle, although they did turn up against Leicester, but the absence of Callum Wilson to a injury, I think that will hurt them big time. And City, they want to be fresh for the upcoming final. So Pep wouldn't want to rest his players, and Foden has been lighting it up recently. So he's one of the players I'm looking for, and there are a few more players who could possibly fit this bracket, be it Lingard from West Ham, or even Jota if I plan to break the Liverpool triple up. But coming to forwards, I think DCL is the one to target, obviously because he's playing Sheffield United and also in form. And I have a love story with DCL, if you remember, like last season as well, and the start of this season. I think he's been consistent for me despite his barren run after maybe 10 to 12 game weeks. But him facing against Sheffield United and even the fixture following that, I think he's a decent option. And like I spoke about Lingard, I think Antonio could be a decent option as well. And another player that I'm actually looking for is Patrick Bamford. So Leeds have a terrific run of fixtures right up to game week 38. So I still have my bench boost, and the plan is to play that in game week 37. So just setting up my team for game week 37 so that I can use that bench boost. So two transfers this game week and possibly two more next game week to set it up for 37. And yeah, that's what the plan is right now.
I mean, the entire plan that you said just made so much more sense when at the end you said you had a bench boost remaining. And when I look at specific assets and their fixtures for Game Week 37, you've been set up perfectly, pretty great. I think next you would be targeting, I think, Maitland Niles and Rudiger or Watkins for that matter. And once you do that, once you get in the players that you want, Bamford for one is definitely in form and has great fixtures like you mentioned. But yeah, like if say, are you not worried about City, since City's already won, and maybe Pep would like to play some players who've not played like 5 games yet for him, so that they deserve a medal. I think Delap is one who's doing pretty well in under this behind the scenes in under 19 and reserve teams as well. So do you think that might make us getting in a City asset riskier? Like I, for one, I'm also planning to get a City asset for the upcoming game weeks, but that is again, I'm also worried a little that he might not end up playing. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's worth taking the risk with City because you know the upside when they're facing Newcastle. You could easily see a 4-0 or 5-0 thrashing on the cards. And I actually wanted to go for Mahrez because he's the one in form right now after scoring in both legs of the Champions League semi-final. And he could also be on penalties with rumors of Kevin De Bruyne being out. So Mahrez is the one I'm actually looking for. But because of the shortage of funds, maybe I would have to settle for someone like Foden. And like I mentioned, Foden is not a certainty for me right now. It could easily be Lingard. It could easily be someone from Everton as well because of their fixtures. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and definitely. I was also looking at Mahrez, but I'm facing a similar issue of not having enough sufficient funds. Anand, what is your take on Akshay's team? Do you feel that DCL and Foden or City assets from City are worthy of targeting for the upcoming game weeks, or is it too much of a risk for you?
Well, City is definitely on the beach. They have nothing to play for. But the point that Akshay just spoke about them being in rhythm before the final is also true. Also, KDB just read that he might not be fit for the Newcastle match, and that just opens up so much more for other City assets to come in. And we have seen this season when KDB was not fit, the likes of Gundogan and all stepped up. So, goal scoring wise, City is still City, and that is why they are the champions. They can unlock any team when they are in full mood. But yeah, definitely they are on the beach. There is a risk involved as well, and if there are, because you don't want to be, chopping off your team all the time. Getting in a player now and then again removing him the next game week. Sometimes it works, but yeah, all because it's just 3 matches left. So yeah, it might work. So City assets are definitely a go if you have a transfer. But yes, if you are kind of in a good position and doing and feel confident about your team, so rather maybe go for a player who has a good stretch of fixtures, throughout the next 3 game weeks. So that could be helpful as well. But overall, good planning. I think DCL can't just doubt. He plays Sheffield, so even against Sheffield, even if I think 3 players from Everton are less. Probably a lot more can return from that team against Sheffield. So yeah, you can go hard on in that match. But yes, it also depends how the match. So Everton is playing Villa right now. So yes, if you can. Sadly, we are recording right now. We can't watch the match. But yeah, I think once we finish this and we can just quickly watch the match and do some bit of eye test over there, and then maybe bring in the best assets from Everton. As of now, I think DCL is definitely a very good shout. He's so central and he's in form too. He's been scoring some goals of late. Yeah, good picks overall. But Kshitiz, coming to you, the star man this game week, brought in Greenwood.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I did.
what's your plan?
But I did.
What's your plan, Kshitiz?
I did get in Greenwood the last game week. So my plan is basically right now do not have enough players who play game week 36. I have to take a hit, and like Akshay said, I do not really mind taking a hit, given that I have kind of had a great game week where I can afford to take a -4 right now from mini league perspective as well as an overall rank. But yeah, I'm pretty happy, certainly, with my team, given that I also have DCL. So definitely, and Dallas as well, not making the same mistake of not making him play the next game week, definitely. But yeah, given that we've spoken a lot about the fixtures that teams like West Ham and Everton have had in Liverpool as well. Moving on to my transfers directly, I am doing a straight swap from Bruno to Mane for next game week along with Salah. And I did not have enough money, so I'm a little torn between Gundogan and Rafinha now that I've seen Leeds fixtures and I've realized that, okay, he might be a good shout as well. I think I'll keep Iheanacho and Greenwood on bench with Shaw and along with Castane, and definitely play McCarthy at the back. So I'm pretty happy. I'm not really set on getting in Mane because I still like to see, because I haven't really followed Liverpool in some time. And tonight would be a great eye test, like you said, for DCL, which we're missing. I think for Mane and Liverpool as a team, I think he's definitely explosive. He did explode as well. And I think the last 3 game weeks, I think I feel that I can live without Bruno for the last couple of game weeks. I think I am ready to take that chance. And if Mane does give me returns next game week, I think I might just go ahead with that and not straight swap Bruno to Mane all over again. So that is the idea behind it. Have no chips left at all. But yeah, I'll take what I can, and definitely not going for a -8 or a -12 at this stage, because this is the best season that I've been having, and I don't want to jeopardize it as of yet. What are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts about my planning, or maybe all the gut play that I'm willing to do?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
Mane.
hmm,
I think Mane is a great shout because he looked sharp recently. Because like earlier when we were speaking about Salah, we didn't see the same Salah of old, but Mane is someone who's trying to come back to his form, his old self basically. And coming to Gundo, I think you spoke pretty well about Rafinha not being in your team, so I think he's the one to target, and that would also save you the risk that is involved with Gundo, him being rotated and not playing the entirety of 90 minutes. So I think Rafinha could be your answer to that position. And yeah, your plan to hold on to Greenwood and Iheanacho, it's pretty good because Iheanacho could easily score against Spurs. Against that Spurs team, any striker could score actually. And you already have DCL and Lingard, so you have already made up the players that I actually plan to bring in. So yeah, pretty good shape.
Yeah, looks like it is to
Yeah,
me as well. Yeah, definitely. Anand, what are your
I
thoughts
just,
on
I
it?
just, I just wanted to ask Kshitij, so are you planning to play with 10 players in the next game week? Because you have Castagna, after doing all the transfers, you'll have Castagna, Greenwood, Shaw, and one more guy who's
Iheanacho.
Iheanacho. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
correct. So you have four.
I'll have to take that chance, man. I'm not willing to take a -8, and given that, yeah, I think Iheanacho maybe I think it makes sense given that he is playing Chelsea and Tottenham in the last two, but he's been performing really well. He's been scoring when and returning points for a lot of game weeks, and I feel pretty content with having Watkins in my team, and I'm ready to take that chance because yeah, and I think I'll take that chance of playing 10, and I don't really mind because they're definitely not going to take a -8. That is my strategy as of now.
Oh, so you are already taking a -4.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already taking a -4, and then I'm a player short of playing, so I'm definitely not going to take a -8. But yeah, definitely
All
looking at
right.
Rafinha
I think
or Harrison from Leeds, definitely that makes much more sense than Gundo. But yeah, so that
but
also will set me up.
I feel the question is, and even Akshay, Newcastle is a decent fixture to target, to be honest. If KDB is not playing, at least, but yeah, the problem's there that in 37, these guys might not play.
Yeah,
So the
exactly.
problem's there for sure. But yeah, for Newcastle, just for a week's fund, if you can afford, for sure, I think it's a good fund. Yeah. But overall, for the course of 3 game weeks, like I said, and actually it's a phenomenon already in the SPL community. Usually try to avoid teams on the beach. So
Yeah, absolutely.
kind
I
of
think I think 10 is not a bad number for a blank game week, which involves United, especially after a triple game week, and also Leicester. So
yeah,
people have loaded up on Iheanacho and possibly Castane as well. So I think they'll anyway be taking hits, and 10
yeah,
is not a bad number. Yeah.
yeah. Even Chelsea, even Chelsea has a blank,
Yep.
and a
Even
lot of
Chelsea. Yeah.
people have.
True.
Yeah, but I'm just concerned. Like I hope just that Samedo starts because he didn't feature in the last game week. Before that, he gave an assist. Thankfully, for all the patience that I had in him. But yeah, I just hope that he starts. And apart from that, if he does, I think I'm pretty happy with 10 men. With that,
Yeah, yeah, he should.
Anand, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah,
Are you fully prepared for with an 11-man team for next game week?
yeah. So at the moment I'm not because I'm too short, but I have 2 free transfers. So I'm planning on starting. So far, I got him for this game week again. Dallas, definitely not doing that mistake. But yeah, usually Dallas after scoring a goal the next game week he usually blanks, but he's a top player, so definitely deserves a go. So Dallas is there, Trent's there, and so I have Shaw, Castagna who are blanking. So my third and then there is Sufal. So Sufal, Dallas, and Trent are sure. Martinez, I'll start Martinez over Foster again because the form Martinez is in. Yes, and in midfield I have Bruno and Rashford blanking, and I only have Jota, Salah, and Rafinha. So and for forwards I have Bamford and Watkins will be back for Crystal Palace, and Kelechi will be blanking. So total, I have 5 players will be blanking, and if I remove 2 because I have 2 free transfers, I can easily put 3 on the bench. At the moment, it feels like I'm more inclined towards removing the likes of Castagne, especially because he'll be playing against Chelsea, and then he'll be playing against Tottenham. So and he's played for the last 11 straight matches. So I'm a bit concerned about how if he's tired or not. So maybe, but he's a top player for sure. But yeah, I think right now I have to move on from him. Like you guys, even I was trying to bring in Diaz, like a City player. So I was trying to bring in Diaz just because I felt that I can target game week 36. Um, One, because I have my wild card left. So if I'm not satisfied with this team in game week 37, I can play my wild card in game week 37 and just change everything. So yes, I was thinking maybe I can just bring in Diaz for this particular game week. And another is again, like I said, Everton's fixture against Sheffield is just too good. So I was probably thinking of even getting in the likes of Coleman and Dean. So yeah, these three defenders. So straight away I'll remove Shaw and Castagne. And what it also does is in the next game week, um, I might triple up on United in game week 37, where my midfield will be Rashford, Bruno, and Greenwood. So that is the thought process that I have. And although I wanted to do it last week, also I didn't discuss this, but yes, this was something which I was thinking too, that I'll remove Rash because I had two free transfers last game week too. So I wanted to remove Shaw and I wanted to remove Rafinha last game week. And instead of Rafinha, I wanted to get in Greenwood, and instead of Shaw, I wanted to get in Dan, who ended up even giving an assist. So, but I didn't. But, sometimes it is like you're never too late. So I would try to do some sort of this thing in game week 37 where I can get in Greenwood too and have three United midfielders playing against Fulham. But yes, that's too far ahead. As of now, I'm almost sure that I have to remove Castagne is going out. That's for sure. Now, who's coming in? City. Diaz is favorite, and alongside the Everton fullbacks, they are favorite at the moment. Even thinking of doubling up on West Ham, to be honest, and getting in the likes of Dawson or Cresswell. I'm even thinking on those lines. So yeah, there are two guys. Like I said, Castagne is number one, to go away. He's blanking, so I won't be worried about the transfer curse. Also, like last week I removed Alonso and he scored. So no transfer curse this week because Castagne is blanking. And
So is Shaw.
another is so I'm just confused about either Shaw or Rashford. So yeah, that's what I feel, guys. What's your take? Where do you want me to go? Yeah.
I think I'm pretty. It at least feels very absurd to me to spend two free transfers both on defenders personally. So if you were to ask me, I would definitely suggest either definitely go for Coleman. I'd stay away from Diaz, given he's way too expensive and you can use those funds elsewhere. And maybe if you have the funds remaining, I think you might be able to upgrade Rashford to maybe Mane. Might be a little stretch, but definitely I think why not try go that way. That is my opinion. Akshay, what do you think?
I
I
personally
can't go
really like.
Mane. Once again, I can't go Mane because I have Trent, Jota, and Salah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you get rid of Bruno and then you straight swap him back as the game week next. You do what I'm doing.
But who do I get in for Bruno?
Mane. Oh, you can't. Oh, because you already have. Oh, no. Okay. It makes. Oh, then you have a difficult choice in front of you. Maybe Akshay will be able to guide you.
No, I personally
Yeah.
really like the route that he's taking, but I would have been happier if I saw Digne and Stones there. And the reason behind that is I think Lucas Digne will have a free run against Sheffield United. James Rodriguez looks like he's still out. I don't know what's going on with him. So Digne against Sheffield United, he could be on set pieces, and we've all talked about DCL being a threat. So who's going to supply him the balls if he's going to score the goals? It could easily be Digne. And coming to Stones over Diaz, I think Stones coming back from suspension, by the way, so definitely going to start in my opinion. And against the Newcastle backline that's been chopping and changing, he could easily bag a goal. We know what he's done already this season, so you wouldn't want to see Stones scoring when you have Diaz in your team.
Absolutely. Then that makes so much sense.
Good.
Good.
But
Good.
regarding any midfield change, if I have to remove Rashford, like I just remove Castagne and have to remove Rashford instead of removing, like Kshitij said, two defenders. So who do
I,
you
I
suggest?
think I think if you're planning for a United triple up against Fulham, that's not a bad choice, but
I mean,
that leaves
I would
you in a
also
bit
be
of bother. Yeah,
very happy to suggest Sigurdsson to you as well. I think Everton are playing
yeah.
good game and good fixture as well. If you do not have DCL, you might easily go for Sigurdsson or
I think he
Rodriguez.
could also be on penalties. Yeah.
He could also be definitely on penalties.
And any player you feel are any midfielder you feel they are good not just for game week 36 but also for the run-in for the last 3 matches.
I think anyone named not Wilfred Zaha.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but on a serious note,
I mean,
any
like Chelsea is also blanking the next game week, so I think it's very difficult to come up with find a midfielder who's likely to do well.
I think you could easily go Mahrez because we've already spoken about his upside. So
Yeah,
why not
maybe.
Mahrez?
Yeah,
If
why not
you're
Mahrez?
looking for a City asset, why not Mahrez? Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah, the same reason why we are trying to avoid Foden, Gundogan, Diaz because the rotation.
No, but you can easily move to Rashford all over again and do the triple up. Although that will take a lot of hits to do that, but the
Yeah.
upside with
What,
Mahrez.
what
Yeah.
about what about Lingard as a pick for the last three? Do you
Yeah,
think
I
that's
really like that.
consistent?
I really like that because he's up against Brighton, by the way, next game week, and Dunk is suspended following his red card. So although
Mhm.
Brighton they won't have it as difficult as we can see with the absence of Dunk because they are a system based team and they don't change a lot in their structure. So personally, I don't see Lingard doing as much as expected in the absence of Dunk, but a great choice nevertheless. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this choice is inspired by you both because Kshitij already has him, and you are also planning to bring in Lingard.
I
So
But
mean,
thanks for that, boys.
what could go wrong? Jailings, he's having a lovely season. So
yeah, but I do
just the
feel that
last
with the coming of Antonio, I think his attacking potential or
yeah,
threat might
yeah,
just
yeah. I've
subside.
seen a lot of stats wherein the number of touches and his involvement in the box is reduced ever since Antonio has come
Yeah,
in.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So apart from that,
100%.
I think the rest everything looks good, and yeah, definitely Mahrez is a great shout from City if you want to go that route because every other team is blanking, and you sadly cannot triple up or like have four people from Liverpool. So that is really yeah. I think, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, I think Mahrez sounds really good for the upcoming fixture and for the run in.
Thanks for that, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and
a
I think
good discussion.
great discussion again around the entire FPL assets, and yeah, it's I think will not be a surprise to anybody with the captain picks that we all the three of us have, and it is definitely Salah against West Brom. Akshay, I think it is a no-brainer. So if I were to ask you the any other two captain picks that you would choose instead of Salah, instead of talking about why Salah against West Brom, what would you say? Would be your next two best options if someone were to go for a differential?
Yeah, I think apart from the obvious choice, that is Mo Salah because of him being in the run for the Golden Boot. So that is something that comes into factor in the last few game weeks, I feel. So Kane is right now up there, and Salah, you know how he's been hungry for the Golden Boot. So he's in the chasing pack alongside Bruno, but Bruno looks like a far fetched choice right now. So Salah is the obvious one, and apart from that, I think DCL could be an interesting option against Sheffield United. And apart from that, if you want to go for a cheeky differential punt, why not Rafinha coming back from injury? And as confirmed by Bielsa earlier today, I think Calvin Phillips is also back. So that certainly boosts the Leeds lineup. And Rafinha alongside Bamford against a Burnley team, I think he could be an interesting choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely myself was going for either Rafinha or Bamford, where definitely Salah being the obvious choice. I think Rafinha, Bamford, and even DCL or Sigurdsson for that matter, anybody from Everton team might also be a great shout. Anand, do you agree or do you have some different differential pick for us for captain?
No, great picks, boys. Salah, of course, we agree on him. And apart from that, I think the entire Liverpool team, that particular match, even Trent could be a good differential. While again, City assets, I think it's just a bit harsh that we are not including them. Just for this particular game week, I feel City assets, in particular, Mahrez and Foden. And now that KDB will, if he misses, even Gundogan, all three are good shots to you. But yeah, top two, um, one reliable apart from Salah has to be Kane against Wolves. And regarding differential, maybe Trent over, just a bit over City assets. But yeah, these two I would go. What about you, Kshitij?
Yeah, I definitely Rafinha, Bamford, and slyly I want Mane as well. I think Mane might also be a pretty good choice, given that he's as it is owned pretty less, and captaining him might not be the majority choice that FPL managers go with. But it definitely like expensive, essential sort of a player in the upcoming game week. I think Mane definitely is worth a punt. And I agree with you guys as well. Like Jota, Trent, anybody from either Liverpool or Leeds for that matter also can be a decent shout. If you remember, I had my vice captainship on Dallas in my bus team, so you never know. I think you can take a punt on anybody. And just pray that it goes right. Yeah, I think good chat, boys. And Akshay, welcome back to that. Definitely going to chase you up the mini league. Not a lot of points remaining. And yeah, interestingly enough, I saw that I had sort of more than 250 points on my bench throughout the season, whereas Akshay, you had only 90 odd points. I think that definitely playing to your favor. Uh, I think, yeah. For next season, maybe better team selection. I think Anand, you also have, I think, similar 200 plus points on bench that you've left, given that what you've done last week as well, with the likes of Foster on your bench, and yeah, and you also let go some points as well. So definitely hurts. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. I think what teams do, or teams like City play, because I'm pretty sure I think we can expect only rotation from the likes of City, because Leeds and Arsenal and Everton are definitely would want to finish as high as possible. So I think that is where we look at for the game week 36 and henceforth.
I
Any
think
close?
we yeah just to close, and one thing that we haven't touched upon is game week 37 will also see the return of fans for the clubs. So I think the UK government have allowed 10,000 fans to be allowed, and that plays a massive role in the teams that have home fixtures. So United, Cavani at Old Trafford, I mean, the stage is set. I can't wait for him to score, because even though it'll just be 10,000 fans, you could see Old Trafford going absolutely berserk when he scores. I mean,
Absolutely.
he's great for that big stage, and I personally want him to have a great next season, because him firing for United and giving the coaching that Mason is getting. You didn't you see the last game when Mason made quite a few runs? So
Yeah.
he's clearly learning that from Cavani. So really happy to see that, and yeah, great to see fans coming back to to games, and yeah, could play a
Yeah,
massive factor
all
in
done with that fake stadium chants, man. Really need to see some people making some noise in the
yeah.
stadiums. But on a lighter note, I think it's the oil money has flown into the British government, wherein the owners of Manchester City have bribed them to let fans inside the stadium so that they get to live the trophy with their fans, which Liverpool sadly did not get. Just on a lighter side, but they're definitely looking forward to the close of the season. 3 game weeks remaining, and hopefully does continue to be a great game, great season, and hopefully we all end on a high. And for all of our supporters and listeners, thank you so much, and we hope you're also having a kick-ass game week 35, and hopefully you have a great game week 36 as well. All of our social media links are down in the description. Please go ahead and give us a follow. If you like the content that we get, you do smash that like and subscribe button. YouTube really cares about that and really helps us as an upcoming YouTube content creators. And as always, we hope you've really enjoyed the video and have a good one. And as always, may the arrows be green. Peace.